Welcome to Georgetown on the island of Penang, one of Malaysia's most historic and multicultural cities. How do 4 different religions, centuries of colonial history and world-class street art all fit into one small city? In Georgetown, they're all on the same walk. Today we're exploring the heritage streets, the diverse architecture and the famous street art that makes this city a must-see on any traveller's bucket list. And because it's New Year's Day, we're celebrating with a personal tradition of our own to wash away the old year. We're Chris and Lydia. This is part 1 of our 48 hours in Penang. Grab a coffee and let's explore Georgetown.
Welcome to the Roving Balys. It's the 1st of January and we're currently in Penang and we're excited to go and explore what Penang has to offer this morning.
That's right, we've got our walking shoes on and we're hitting the streets to explore the UNESCO World Heritage town of Georgetown in Penang. So why don't you come join us? In a previous video, we arrived by plane from the island of Langkawi and checked in at the George, our heritage-style hotel in the heart of Georgetown. After ringing in the new year from the rooftop of Penang's tallest building, we're up early to explore as much of the old town as we can. We stepped straight out of our hotel onto Chulia Street, one of Georgetown's oldest streets, lined with colonial-era shophouses and cafes. But on an early New Year's morning, the history lesson could wait. First, we needed coffee.
This is a special of the day. Mine's pistachio and Chris has got a black sesame and it's prepared at minus 86 degrees Celsius. So, and it's called a pistachio dirty. Mine is espresso. It sounds good. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that is good. I can't even describe that. Very much a pistachio taste with a hint of coffee in the background. That is really good, really creamy, amazing, yum.
Black sesame. Okay, it's not something I would normally have got, but it was just that it was recommended by the waiter, so. That's nice too. It really does have the sesame flavour more than the coffee. It's not that sickly sweet like a caramel coffee or something like that that's got really sweet taste. It's just got that flavour and very easy to drink. Beautiful. I'm going to try yours. Oh, that is very pistachio.
It's good.
It's like drinking the real nuts.
Oh, it's yummy. And because it's warm outside, it's actually nice to have an iced coffee.
Back on the road, we spotted our first piece of Penang's famous street art. There'll be plenty more later, but as Mr. Bean fans, this one was a fun way to start.
So come around here, I want to show you this street. Have a look at this. Everywhere you look around here is just like a picture. We haven't walked very far at all. We just keep stopping and taking photos and drinking coffee. So we just like, look at this. It's, you know, I don't know, just the angle of that. And it just looks like a painting or a picture. Or it's just got this charm, this really quirky charm about it. I love Penang. I'm really enjoying it. You just look down the side streets and you're like, oh, it's another picture. It's just incredible. So we haven't got far. We've got to keep walking. It's going to take a long day if we're going at this pace, but that's okay.
The streets of Georgetown are so well preserved that the city is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But it's not just scenic, this place once held real strategic power. The island of Penang sits on the Strait of Malacca, the vital link between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. Controlling Penang meant influence over one of the world's great trade routes, the Maritime Silk Road, linking China and India and beyond to Europe. Georgetown was actually built by the British back in the 1780s. To take advantage of the Malacca Strait being a trading hub between Southeast Asia and China and India. So it's a big melting pot of cultures and of religions.
It's really cool, really, really cool.
That preserved this old town, all these shop houses and streets. Such an interesting place to come. It's like stepping back in time. From the music, we realised our walk had taken us into Little India. But even here, we found ourselves passing multiple Chinese temples and quickly realised that in Penang, it isn't as simple as dividing the city by ethnicity. In Georgetown, layers of culture overlap, and it all began with the British. Wow, that's a fast walker. I don't think I'm walking that fast in this heat. We're right at the top of the town, here in the northern part of Georgetown, and we've reached an old British fort called Fort Cornwallis. And this is actually where the British first established Penang and Georgetown back in 1786. It looks quite defensive, but I don't think there was ever a shot fired in anger from here. Before the British arrived, Penang was little more than dense jungle and a few Malay fishing villages under the Sultanate of Kedah. It was Francis Light, representing the British East India Company, who saw its value. A deep harbour, fresh water, and the perfect strategic position to protect British trade through the Strait of Malacca. Fort Cornwallis was the first structure they built, originally from timber, meant to guard the harbour and the new trading post from rival European powers, pirates, and local uprisings. Unfortunately, we couldn't explore the inside of the fort because of restoration works, but once complete, it'll be one of Penang's must-visit historic sites. There's a big clock tower here too. Just beyond the fort stands the Queen Victoria Memorial Clock Tower, built to mark the 60th year of Queen Victoria's reign. The clock face sits 60 feet above the ground. That's 1 foot for every year of her reign. So apparently, the clock tower is known by locals as the Big Ben of Penang. This clock tower was presented to Penang in commemoration of Her Majesty Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, 1837 to 1897.
We just went into the information centre, which is near the fort here, and they were very friendly, lots of little booklets and maps and things, and they gave me a little key ring, their little mascot. Isn't it cute? It's a little bear.
It's the mascot for the new year, so we'll be able to, we're the first ones to receive one.
We're the first ones to receive one, and Chris got a badge. Where's your badge?
I just put it in my bag.
And here's the lovely badge that Chris was given. Oh, feel very special. Thank you.
Oh, some fishermen over there.
Oh, wow. I found a sprinkler. I'm cooling down. It's a very hot, humid day, and I'm wishing I wore shorts. But I'm trying to be respectful. Well, I am being respectful. I'm wearing long clothes because I thought we were going into temples, but we haven't gone into any temples yet, but I'm still being respectful. So I'm cooling down.
But there's a lovely big park area here right beside the fort and the harbour. I think this is where the British used to take their afternoon walks. There's a city hall on the other side of the park there. So we're right in the heart of the old British Penang. I think they're cleaning up after the New Year's Eve party last night. There's the town hall. Very colonial, Victorian. From the old civic heart of British Georgetown, our walk now leads us to St George's Church, the oldest purpose-built Anglican church in Southeast Asia, and the first of many places of worship that tell the story of Penang's rich multicultural history. We're just round the corner from the fort and the city hall, and we've reached St George's Church, which is a British Christian church built in the 1800s. And what's really interesting are these columns. They look like Greek columns. And this small dome structure, that's a memorial to Francis Light, who was the founder of Penang. Francis Light established Penang as a free port, abolishing customs duties and taxes on cargo. That attracted traders and migrants from across Asia and beyond. Chinese, Indian, Malay, Arab and European communities settled close to the harbour, each building their own places of worship and living side by side. The evidence of that multicultural history is still everywhere in Georgetown today, as we soon discovered. So almost right next door to the St George Anglican Church built by the British is this Chinese Buddhist temple, which is one of the oldest temples in Penang. It's called the Goddess of Mercy Temple, built around the 1800s, which predates a lot of the old British buildings. While the British were building forts and churches, the Chinese were busy putting up these temples. And then across the road from the Buddhist temple, we have the oldest Hindu temple in Penang, the Sri Mahamariamman temple. I hope I'm saying that right and haven't butchered it, but it just shows how much of an influence the Indian community had in the building of Georgetown as well. It's so intricate, all these little Hindu deities on the tower here. It's very ornate. It's really a pretty temple. Unfortunately, I can't go in at the moment. They've got some kind of event or celebration happening within, but I can just stick my camera in the front gate and maybe capture a glimpse of the atmosphere in there. And then, only about 100 metres down the road, we have the Kapitan Keling Mosque. So, within a few minutes' walk, we've had a church, a mosque, a Hindu temple and a Chinese Buddhist temple. In just a few streets, we'd seen the layers of Georgetown's multicultural history. Churches, temples and mosques standing side by side, a testament to centuries of trade, migration and harmony. But for now, it was afternoon, the sun was high, and it was time to escape the streets for a cooler activity.
It's time, it's very hot. We're going to go back for our New Year's Day swim, so let's go and check out the pool in our hotel. I'm looking forward to a refreshing dip before we go out again this evening, so let's get our swimmers on.
A quick reminder that this is just day one of our 48 hours in Penang. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where we head up Penang Hill for some incredible views. But for now, let's get back to Georgetown. A swim was definitely calling, but on the walk back we found a different kind of cool escape, the Blue Mansion, and the perfect spot for a refreshing drink.
We may have got waylaid on the way back to the pool, so instead we stopped at the Blue Mansion for a nice cooling drink. Come and have a look inside, this is magnificent.
Wow. It's so nice and cool in here too.
Hello, how are you? Do you have a bar menu that we can have a look? Thank you.
The Blue Mansion is one of Georgetown's most iconic heritage homes, and a fancy cocktail in its air-conditioned Colonial era bar was the perfect way to start our visit. While you don't need a booking to enjoy a drink in the bar, we recommend taking a guided tour if you really want to explore the mansion's architectural and historical spaces. The Blue Mansion was built in 1890 by Cheong Fatt, a wealthy Chinese merchant. It fell into disrepair in the late 20th century and was carefully restored during the 1990s. The style is classic East meets West. Following Chinese tradition, the layout respects Feng Shui, with internal courtyards, carved wooden details, and the famous indigo blue walls, made from natural limestone pigment. At the same time, European influences are clear in the Georgian and Victorian features. Louvered windows, cast iron balustrades, and Art Nouveau tiles. It's no wonder the mansion is said to be one of Penang's most photographed buildings. In fact, it's been used as a setting for a number of films, including the Hollywood blockbuster Crazy Rich Asians. And we ended up spending a couple of hours here, exploring its many rooms and artefacts, soaking up its history, and discovering the little hidden nuances that make this place so fascinating.
So the three bottom steps are, it's symbolic. If you want to rise successfully in your life, it's better to do it from a firm, strong foundation.
Perfect. We even discovered that Cheong Fatt loved his European wines so much that he established what's believed to be the first Western-style winery in mainland China. And yes, we may have found ourselves back at the bar sampling some of the products. For quality control purposes, of course. If you really want to immerse yourself in colonial era Penang, the Blue Mansion also offers boutique accommodation. But for us, our hotel pool was still calling.
So if you've been watching our channel, you'll know that we like to do a New Year's Day swim every year, and that's to wash away the previous year that's been and to invite in all the goodness of the new year that is to come.
That's right, we have a swim wherever we are in the world. Sometimes it can be quite a chilly swim. Whoops, I'll just get past these people. Sometimes it can be quite a chilly swim depending on where we are. But this year it's going to be very welcome swim, I can tell you.
It will be. We are melting. So,
Back at the George, the pool looked so inviting. But while the water felt refreshingly cold, by Lydia's standards, it was bordering on Arctic. Oh, that's lovely. That is so, it's actually quite cool. It's so refreshing. It's beautiful. Look at it. There we go. Happy New Year. With the heat of the day behind us, we returned to the heritage lanes around Armenian Street. But this time, instead of temples and mosques, we were on a mission to find some of Penang's famous street art.
back down in Georgetown to come and look at the famous street art, and we're regretting not staying longer because there's so much to see. But anyway, let's go looking.
Such a pretty place, isn't it?
It is.
The street art of Penang has become legendary, and it's particularly concentrated around Armenian Street, where every lane seems to hide another surprise.
Yeah, it's you.
That's not me. But the Armenian Street district is more than just street art. With its heritage shophouses, lantern-lined lanes, boutique stores and buzzing cafes, it feels like the creative and cultural heart of Georgetown. Yeah.
There's all these cool little shops and...
Whoa! Wow.
He's brilliant.
We're walking down Armenian Street at the moment.
Oh.
It is amazing, and there's lots of street art apparently here, so we're keeping our eyes peeled.
But I can't, I'm trying not to go into the shops. There's so many little shops with lots of little things, and I want to go into all of them, but we don't have a lot of time left. We've only got a couple of hours of daylight. Only regret about coming here is that we've come down to Georgetown too late, because I want to spend a few days down here. There's so much to see.
It's amazing. Oh, look, here's that. Oh, here we go. Look behind me. It's where the one of the most famous street arts is, and there's everybody lining up behind me to get a photo with it. I guess it's something that you really have to do, isn't it, when you're here? Penang's street art scene really took off in 2012 when Lithuanian artist Ernest Zakarovich transformed the old heritage streets into an open-air gallery that told the everyday stories of local Penang through interactive murals. Using real-world objects like bicycles and swings, his playful works quickly became some of the most photographed spots in Malaysia. And the real fun is in discovering the unexpected pieces hidden in side streets. It's like a treasure hunt. So we found another one down one of the laneways here. So this is another famous one with the motorbike.
I like this one. This looks cool.
One of Lydia's favourites.
Yeah.
There's the famous street art, and then there's just lots and lots of random ones, small but also large full wall murals like this one here. By this point, it felt like the whole city had become an open-air gallery. Even the historic central fire station had joined in.
Do you mind if I take a photo? Is that okay? Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. What a chilled cat. Hello. Hey. Hello. Thank you. He's gorgeous.
We spent the afternoon doing what everyone does in Georgetown, posing, playing and turning the murals into part of our own Penang story. But as the light began to fade, our thoughts turned from art to tacos, and we made our way to Love Lane for dinner. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year. Look at that. Wonderful. We're on Love Lane, like Lydia's got behind her. There you go. And we've come to Holy Guacamole for some Mexican, as you do in Malaysia. By night, the area around Love Lane and Chulia Street really comes alive, with restaurants, bars and a buzzing atmosphere. But although we enjoyed a cold drink and some tasty nachos, we decided on an early night. After all, tomorrow brings another big adventure as we head up Penang Hill in part 2 of our 48 hours in Penang. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for roving with us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.